and I'm back with another tutorial. So today I'm starting with my hair soaking wet. I want to share with you guys a couple of new techniques that I've picked up on creating that really big, voluminous, natural curl, natural wave texture that I have. And it's something new that you guys have never seen before on my channel. So first we're gonna start, as always, with our hair completely cleaned. So I've shampooed, conditioned, I've done my hair mask, and it's freshly clean and it's still very, very damp. As you know, anytime you're playing around with your natural texture, you want to maintain all of the moisture in your hair. So not only is my hair wet, it's like dripping. It's very, very damp. And that's basically how you wanna start, okay? So first we're gonna go ahead and go in with our curling product. So you can either go in with a cream, a mousse, a gel, whatever that you've been using. Normally I like to stick to cream bases because my hair is very dry. So I've been playing around with a mousse, okay? So this is the TRESemmé Extra Hold Mousse. And this stuff gives you crazy, crazy volume. So today we're gonna be putting it into our hair, and we're gonna be heat styling it. So you wanna take a very generous amount like so. And with cream-based products, you can't really put them on your roots or your scalp because they get too greasy. But with mousses, you can get almost really, really right down to the root with them. Not directly on your scalp, obviously, but you can get right onto the root with them. So you wanna go nice and close because this is where you want to basically create the most amount of volume, right? So go ahead and apply a generous amount in your hair. And then just go ahead and scrunch it in. Oh my God, it smells so good. So the reason I like going in with a mousse is because it is so light and airy. It basically gives you the best chance at getting the most amount of volume because it's so light as air. And even though it's super light, it does have strong hold. So that helps with creating a lot of the definition in your hair. So as I'm applying this, it's going to kind of define my curls while creating tons of volume and not working against my natural volume. So it's not going to be greasy. It's not going to weigh my hair down. It's going to keep my hair very, very nice and light and airy and fluffy and still give me that definition. You can see the definition is already starting to show up on us. And when you're using products with curly hair or even naturally wavy hair, you want to be generous with your products, okay? Do not shy away. So I like to dump my head in every direction just to make sure I really, really get it in there, okay? So we got this side, we got this side. Now I'm just gonna quickly dump my head upside down and add more more mousse and more volume. For your curls to actually be defined, the product needs to be around each hair strand, right? So if it's not around each hair strand, it's not gonna define each hair strand, okay? So the pieces that you leave out without product, those end up being super, super frizzy. So you wanna make sure that your hair is very well coated with product before you start diffusing your hair, or else you're gonna end up being a big old frizz ball. We don't wanna be a frizz ball. So once all my product is in there, at this point, you wanna make sure that you still have a lot of water in your hair to the point that it's dripping, and squish it, and you wanna hear some squishy water in there. You wanna hear lots of squish and lots of moisture in there. And if you don't, you wanna go ahead and spray a little bit more water in your hair. You need to make sure it's very, very damp before we start heat styling. All right, that feels pretty good. It feels very nice and damp. I definitely feel like I have a good amount of product coating each hair strand. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna dump our head upside down and we're gonna diffuse. So I'm gonna be using my Dyson Supersonic, and I'm just gonna take my diffuser attachment and attach it on. At home, obviously you can use any blow dryer in the world. Just make sure you have a diffuser. If you do have the Dyson Supersonic, you wanna go ahead and grab this attachment. This attachment is going to be very, very helpful to us when we are styling our hair today. And I'm going to show you guys towards the end how I get that extra bump with this. Like, these two things are just key in this hairstyle. And I'm going to blast my blow dryer on low heat and high air. Okay, the higher you put your air, the more chances you are of getting frizzy. So you want to keep the air on low, heat on high, and you want to dry your hair about 50%. If your hair is super, super fine, you can stop at 20 or 30%. You basically want to stop diffusing your hair once you see frizzies starting to form, okay? So for me, that doesn't happen until after about 50%. Sometimes, honestly, I can get to 70, 80% without seeing the frizzies. So I'm just gonna keep drying my hair until the frizzies start. So kind of read your hair, kind of pause, see where it's at, and then decide if you need to continue or not. So I've been diffusing my hair for a couple of minutes, and you guys can see there is a lot of definition that's starting to come out. You can see the curls are definitely starting to come to life, but my hair is still very, very damp, so I'm gonna keep going. All right, so now that my hair is dry-ish, it's about 50% dry. And the reason you wanna dry 50% is obviously so your ends don't get frizzy, right? So the problem with that is that it also leaves your roots kind of damp when you dry it 50%. Okay, and if you dry your roots 100% right away, that's when you get the most amount of volume. But you can't really do that with the diffuser because you're kind of going in like this and you're not going in right at the root, you know, like you really want to dig in there and get in. So what I've been doing is going in with this. It's a smoothing nozzle. It's not supposed to be for curly hair. It's technically smoothing, but I go right into the roots with this, and it kind of activates the mousse in my hair and just kind of gets my hair roots to stand up and give me that volume and that extra kind of kick. Okay, so again, we don't want to dry these 100%. We want these about 50 to 80% dry so they don't get frizzy. But your roots, we want those dry so that we can get that volume, okay? And you want to dry your roots with your head upside down so that the roots are actually standing, right? All right, so now what I'm going to do is let the rest of this dry on its own naturally. It usually takes about 20-30 minutes depending on the weather, but today it's nice and warm, so I will see you guys back in a little bit once it's all dry. All right, guys, this is the final look. What do you guys think? Look at the amount of volume I was able to achieve today. And I'm still able to get tons of definition in my hair. The curls are not frizzy. They're not like greasy looking. They don't look wet, which is my pet peeve when curls look wet. They look fluffy and they feel fluffy. And I do get quite a bit of longevity because this TRESemmé mousse has so much hold in it. So this will probably last me easily all week. And I'll definitely be able to maintain the volume as well because of the extra steps that I took today to make sure my roots dry standing up. So if you guys have any questions about my updated curly hair routine, be sure to leave them in the comments down below and I will get back to you. And as always, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye!